Well, finally here, Coach Simon. Looks like we're going to play some hockey. Let's see what happens Friday, February 5th. When they drop that puck, then we'll believe it. But lots can happen, obviously, between now and then. But here we are, a week and a half ahead of what's going to be a shortened 30-game season. Great to see you again. Welcome back to Grand Rapids. You've been here for a while, though, cranking things out, getting ready for
Yeah,
this kind of what's going to be a weird season, no doubt.
yeah, no, we're excited, cautiously optimistic as we have been for the probably last 3-4 months since this whole kind of idea, the return to play to get a plan to kind of come to fruition and starting to be executed with all the protocols and the preparation behind the scenes. And I think from a player's point of view, from the staff's point of view, we're just excited and grateful that both the Red Wings and the Griffins made the commitment to have hockey this season. I know it's there are a lot of sacrifices that have been made and a lot of financial sacrifices and just long hours that have gone in behind the scenes to make this happen. I think the players are very appreciative of that, and we're excited to look forward to February 5th.
Well, Benny, you got to jump a little bit on that whole protocol thing with Detroit. Of course, with the Wings for camp to start, and then transitioning over to Grand Rapids, and now you've got that 47-page. I think it's at least 47-page protocol the league's got to follow. There's a lot that goes into that, and like you say, there's an abundance of sacrifices that you guys as a team are going to have to make and already are with the COVID testing. All the restrictions, being in that bubble. It's got to be such a relief when you get on that ice and actually practice, which you've had some kind of unofficial practices here for the last week or so.
Yeah, no, that is the best part. I mean, all this stuff that goes on behind the scenes, it's part of the job and part of what it takes to get the season up and running. But you're exactly right. When you get on the ice, it is refreshing to have some sense of normalcy. That is your normalcy. That hour to 2 hours you're on the ice with the guys. It's just refreshing to get back to work with these guys, and they're excited and to help these guys develop and improve on a daily basis and have fun out there doing it.
Can you talk a little bit about what the protocol is like, though, for the team yourself, the players? Obviously one thing, hockey players, as we all know, are so great in terms of, the extracurriculars, the extra things in the community during the year. That's not going to happen. There's no real access to the guys as it relates to community. So it's really focused on this 30-game shortened hockey season.
Oh, it is. And your typical day in the state of Michigan, I think the protocols are different than the different states and other different regions, but we have to be tested 6 times a week, whether that's with a rapid test or a PCR test. But again, it's just, you get used to it. And, the biggest thing that we've talked about as a group is we can't monitor any of these guys 24/7. And we've just talked about being smart with your decisions, both at the rink and away from the rink, and not putting yourself in a compromising situation and try and mitigate the exposure to contracting this virus as much as you can. And, they're talking about restaurants maybe opening up, but from a player's point of view, if you don't need to go out, just stay home. Don't put yourself in those situations in big group settings. It's a lot of, mask wearing. It's a lot of, washing your hands, good hygiene stuff. And, just a lot of common sense things that you would think guys would be doing, but you just have to make sure you're reiterating it, make sure you're disciplined in that. And, we talk about dependability and accountability. You got to be accountable to yourself. You got to hold other people accountable. If you see a buddy that maybe not wearing a mask or not doing the right thing, is hold them accountable. The season, literally from February 5th to May 16th, which is what the AHL season, the regular season is going to be, it's 101 days. So, to sacrifice for that long, I think for the benefit of the group to be able to play hockey, to help further their careers, help further development, I don't think it's too much to ask. So, our biggest goal is to make sure we're not putting ourselves in those situations and putting ourselves in the best situation to have a healthy roster every day.
Yeah, if you want to be reminded of what the world is that we live in now, just look no further than the Griffins schedule, and for that matter, the schedule of all teams in the league, very limited in terms of the number of teams you play, and you won't have, rarely, I can't think of maybe a couple of times in 20 years I've been with a team where you stayed overnight or didn't stay overnight on the road. You always leave the day ahead. You're 60, 70 nights a year in hotels. That's not going to be the case at all in this condensed version of a schedule, Ben.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a little bit different. And, we're going to kind of, we talked about adaptability and be able to roll with the punches. And, it's going to be different going to a game, the day of a game, and traveling a couple hours and getting off the bus and playing right away, and then jumping on the bus and coming home. So, and that's all to mitigate potential exposure to the virus here. And it's, we're going to try different ways that we think is best to approach an away game. Maybe hindsight being 2020, we found a different way the next game. And again, it's just kind of being able to roll with the punches. And if, we're a little dinged up, maybe we don't need to skate in the morning. Maybe we do skate in the morning. This is uncharted territory for us. So it's a little bit of a give and take with what the coaches ideally want and what kind of in reality might happen. So it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be fun. And, at the end of the day, we're playing hockey, and that's the most important thing.
We'll have a chance. We'll get with you several times over the next week and a half or so. Bring our fans up to speed on what kind of team you're going to have. We'll get into into some of the personalities. You look at Cal Criscolo's back. You just think of championship hockey when he's around. A rookie out of Harvard that, of course, helped lead the team in 2017. A lot of familiar faces though. Elson and Turgeon with the long hair. Eventually, that's going to go, but. It's exciting. It's exciting to see the guys again, Benny. And I know you're thrilled. It doesn't matter who you've got personnel wise, but it helps that you've got some familiar faces and some pretty darn good hockey players. We'll dig into that a little bit later on. But can you sum up things right now in terms of your thoughts about the team?
Yeah. Well, right now, we officially open up our camp on Sunday, but we've had a group of guys in town for the last little bit doing optional skates, and these guys are chomping at the bit to really want to play games against other teams and not just amongst each other and battle against each other. But you talked about, a lot of familiar faces. And I think that familiarity, both from a player to coach, from a coach to a player, is going to be beneficial with such a quick camp and such a shortened season. We kind of know what to expect of the players. The players kind of know what to expect of our staff. So I think that familiarity is going to be a benefit moving forward. And like you said, it's great to see some of these guys back. A lot of the guys look great. A lot of time off, but you can see these guys took advantage of their time. A lot of guys look bigger, stronger, faster, and we'll see if that applies on the ice. But a lot of teams are in the same boat. A lot of guys had a lot of time on other teams and other organizations to get bigger, stronger, and faster. So hopefully we're bigger, stronger, and faster than the other teams, but time will tell. But we're excited to get into camp here, really get our heels dug in and get after it.
I know I'm here to grin right now. Just the opportunity to visit with you again. We'll do that several times now here coming up over the next several months, and including some more Zoom interviews, and we'll get more familiar with your team here, Coach, over the next 7, 8, 9 days or so. Great to see you again. Thanks for doing this, huh?
Sounds like a plan, Bobby. Good to see you, pal.
Yeah. All right, Ben. Thank you.
All right. Take care, pal.